Hello, hello. Gotta shut my door. Welcome, welcome to Friday. Hope everyone is having an awesome day. It's been a good week. Our investment seminar last night seemed to have gone well. We had a lot of people there. Traffic was a nightmare, but people got there, seemed to have a good time. Hopefully, all of you made calls and had good conversations around it. That's really why we do it. I don't care if anyone shows up. I just care if you're talking to your sphere and inviting them, but seemed to go well. All right. Halfway through January, what are we talking about today?
It was fun last night. Thanks everyone who planned that.
Yeah. John did great, his little part. Amy, it was good to see some of your people.
Oh yeah, thanks for talking with them and welcoming them, and I'm glad you could meet them and kind of get their situation. You had some good ideas about some referrals. If
Yeah. Yeah, you got to get money everywhere you can. Referrals is an easy way to do that. If you know someone out
yeah.
of state, get 25% of the commission just by connecting them. Just got have to have people think of you first and teach them, hey, I can help you anywhere.
Yeah,
My
I think
my roommate, um, she took a little bit of video footage of my part, and I finally got my Facebook up and running. My profile, I had to create a whole new one, but I got it up and running. So I'll post that as a reel so that the friends that I'm accumulating on Facebook can see it and everything. And I'll let them know that the next time we have a seminar of this nature, I'll be posting it so that, and I'll give them the link so they can attend.
Yep. I'm thinking in the next one we do, it will probably be sometime in April, like mid-April. Probably sounds like a good time to do that. Um, but I want to do house hacking. So
Oh,
if you
okay.
want to someday be an investor, what should you be doing now with your real estate to either get in the house that you like or save up for that first rental? So it's a investor mindset when you're buying your personal house. So we'll start getting plans for that going, because I know a lot of people had questions and thoughts on what that looks like. So we can kind of go down the different pathways. Like the way that I would say that I house hacked is I bought a place that had a basement apartment, rented it to my sister-in-law. Then I moved out of that and bought a duplex, kept renting that property, had my duplex, moved out of the duplex, and rented out both sides. So um, when I lived in my duplex, I actually paid myself rent, which was just all towards savings. Because most people are like, oh, good, I don't have a mortgage payment now. And I'm like, no, I want more properties. So I was paying what would have been like a normal type rent to myself. So it helped me get a slush fund. So when things broke, it wasn't like, oh crap, what do I do? It, thank you. It helped me save for my next place. So a lot of good, awesome things. So maybe we'll do something like that. And then we'll need one more for the year. I want to do a first time home buyer seminar in October. So maybe something, I don't know. July is always a hard time. We could maybe do like in August. That's not too close to the October one for our first time home buyer seminar. Maybe we skip the summer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
yeah.
what we do
Or,
this year.
or do first time home buyer in August and something different in October.
Hmm.
but maybe you like it annually in October.
Yeah, I'm good with any of it. So
Great. I think these are fun. I love having something to give value and to reach out and to have some talking points.
yeah, makes it easy. That's the whole goal.
Yeah.
Make your calls easy.
So I've
Give
got a
them something.
question.
Yep.
Okay, we were talking about land the other day,
Mhm.
and my some clients are looking at a piece of land, and it says it's not an improved or entitled building lot. So that means, do I send them in the direction of the city to reach out to see how much it would cost to get water, sewer, electricity? Like, how do I help them move forward with that?
Yep. So, the biggest thing is to figure out where it is. Like if the
Okay.
water is there and available, then that's pretty easy. If it's like, oh, the water is actually half a mile away, then that is going to be very expensive to get the water there because it is tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to move sewer, water, electricity distances. So,
Yeah. I see pictures of the lot, and there are homes on the hill in the photo. So
mhm,
they're not that far.
yep. Yep. So, the city would probably be a good place to start, and they can usually point you in all of the right directions. Like I
Okay.
mentioned
And
last time, the city, my favorite part is they want you to build houses. Like they're happy with all of these questions. So they are going to be very helpful if you're just like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I've never dealt with land and I have these clients looking for this and this and that. Can you kind of help me point me to the right people? Maybe it's you, maybe it's not. And they are always helpful. If they're not, it's probably because you caught them at the busiest time of their day. I've never
okay.
talked to someone that was not helpful to me.
Okay. How much of that would you do? Would you just start the ball rolling and get some numbers of people for them to reach out to after you call the city?
Yep. So I would call the city and make sure that they can build. Like they'll know like some of the rules of the area, like setbacks and things like that. And they should be able to tell you where utilities are. And then that might just be part of their process. You know, like if there's a road right in front of the lot and the utilities are right there, to get them stubbed or over to the property could be very simple. Um, it might also be difficult, um, because some of the times developers will bring it in and say anyone that buys these lots will now have to pay me for how like that last half mile that I brought it in. So sometimes there's all these weird agreements and things like that, but the city will be able to give you an idea right
Okay.
off.
And I guess the listing agent of this land as well may be a good starting point.
Ooh, that might be the best starting point. If it's listed by an agent, they might know these things. Like I have a client they want to build, they're worried about how far utilities are away, things like that. If it says stubbed on the MLS, then that would mean it's just right there. But it sounds like you're saying that it's not that. So we'd have to figure out what it is. Sometimes owners already have bids. How much would it be to bring in the utilities to a place? And they might be like, ah, it's 20 grand, and we thought that's not worth it to us. You know, maybe it's
Okay.
100 grand, and they're like, nope, never gonna do this.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, fun. So a
It's
couple of random advice things when maybe everyone but Amy here is working with land is so typically your commission is 3%, right? That's what everyone always talks about. How can I get 3%? If you were going to help someone buy a lower priced something, right? This could be a trailer, this could be a land, this could be something in the middle of nowhere. Um, I do not think it is bad to charge a flat fee
Okay.
um, for like 5 to 10 grand kind of an idea. Because if someone goes and buys a $10,000 lot and you charge 3%, that is $300 that you are getting that then we are splitting. Um, and we have to pay 350 to our transaction coordinator. So
Hmm.
um, Brittany ends up making the most amount of money out of everyone for doing your paperwork,
Go team.
which is good. Yeah, and she should. But I want you guys to make money as well. So $150 usually doesn't cut that. So it's not bad if someone's like, I'd love to buy a $10,000 lot. It's like, great. I need to make money to put in this effort. So I actually care to help you. So I'm gonna charge, I don't know, two, three, four, $5,000 to help you. And it's a flat fee. And
Okay.
that is completely normal, by the way. There, I was talking to an agent and he says, I love selling land because I usually get around a 10% commission on land. I was like, dang.
Wow.
Um, but a lot of these lands are smaller. And so it's 10%, but that's still not even 10 grand.
Yeah. So, we know about doing a buyer consultation and having a BBA signed. This has felt a little different. We've been, talking by email, and I finally said, okay, let's do a phone call so we can really understand, so I can understand where things are at. And I think that's time for me to let them know what I would charge for something like that. Any
Yeah, and
suggestions for that kind of meeting or phone call?
I would do a normal broker type presentation meeting where you're talking about your value and how you're going to help them and everything because land is different. The with real estate, like residential real estate, there is this moat, I would say, for the average person to get into the house. Um, if you don't have a real estate license and you want to see a house, you kind of have two options besides hiring a real estate agent. You go directly to the listing agent and try to have them show you the house, where then you're not being offered any sort of protection or help or anything. And they're going to try to pick you up as a lead and I don't know, maybe not even sell you that house, but sell you another house so they can get two commissions rather than just the one. The other is open houses. But again, we all know that that's more of a lead generation type activity. So it's not really easy to get into a house. Now, land, you can just go walk land. And
Right.
so as a real estate agent, like Amy, if you're like, oh, let's go see land on Saturday, and they're like, oh, could you go on Friday? And you're like, oh, you know what? I actually can't. They can still go see land. Like no one's gonna stop them. There's no Supra, there's no
Right.
difficulty for them to do it. And so you can sell land without ever walking it. I still suggest you try to be there at most showings, but they might be just like driving around on a Saturday afternoon and go see a bunch of land that they saw online because the area with land matters more than the actual land, where
Right.
houses are a big deal besides area. So I would try to get a buyer broker signed because as you think about all of this due diligence that you'll have to do, could they make an offer on this property? Could they build what they want to? How would the utilities get here? All of these other questions that you're going to have to do some research. If you don't have a buyer broker agreement, it's very easy for you to get cut out and for those clients to go directly to a listing agent that or someone like that for sale by owner and just cut you out. So try to get a buyer
Yeah.
broker or don't do any work. But then you're
Right.
kind of weird thing, like you're not showing your value. You could talk to them like, hey, by the way, when you work with me, I will help you do a lot of these things. Like we're gonna, um, I'll call the city, talk about your building plans. Um, I can get in contact with the listing agent, get all of these questions, figure out utilities, work it out, and then obviously the negotiating, the closing process, help you with the due diligence, like all of that. So there's a lot that you can add value on, which is why if it's a small piece of land, you might even be able to charge more money.
Okay, okay. So I kind of have to come up with a whole new, I feel like, buyer consultation packet and everything, because it's very different. But it will just be a phone call. So it doesn't have to be a whole packet I give them like I do for a first time home buyer.
Yeah, and something that you might want to do, and I've done for a while in my buyer presentation, if I don't have something to give, a lot of my presentation, I'm like, okay, well, let's just figure out what you would want and talk about a few of these. And so then I like draw out the area, put in the price, put in the parameters on a search on the MLS, and then I start pulling them up. Tell me what you think about this one. Looks like a great area. How do you feel about if it's sloping? Blah, blah, blah. Looks like there's not utilities. Um, would you be prepared to like hire someone to do the work to bring those in, or do we want to avoid those? And you can start to like put in the parameters and talk about a few of these things. Like, oh, hey, this one says that you need water shares. So that is a whole process that we can go about. We'll try to negotiate that with the sellers, but we could also just buy water shares on an open market. That is a thing that we can do. So if like that's something that needs to happen, you can kind of talk through some of these things
Yeah,
that you're going through. So you don't need to like have everything ready. You're just talking about what comes up on the MLS as
right,
an
right. And giving them a person who's going to move it forward and make it happen for them, which is what they
Yep.
need.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Well, today you guys are in for a treat with Ignite. We have Amy coming to teach open houses, and she crushes them. So come, not this Amy, not you, Amy. You're not teaching today. A different Amy, Amy Erdman, teaching about open houses. So come to that. It should be awesome. Ritz, I'm pretty sure there's a great class today that I saw that you sent out at 11.
Got Leroy.
Scott Leroy marketing, got something
Yeah,
good on command. Um, so that should be on Zoom. Check that out. And then
I'll be
finish up
attending
your
that one for sure.
good. Finish up your DTD2. We're on D and O. So finish off your D's and O's. And then should have a good week. Oh, by the way, we are closed on Monday, the 20th. The office is closed. So we will not be doing this call. I'm still available. If you have clients or questions, reach out. I'm going to be like pseudo working, I imagine. So we'll see if the wife gets a project that takes the whole long weekend. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Have a great Friday, everyone. We'll chat soon.
Hey,
Thanks, you
Cameron. Bye,
too.
everybody.